Alex raced down the forest path, sneakers slapping against packed dirt, a glass jar clutched tight. Inside, something glowed, soft and green like captured moonlight. The old willow trees sat quietly overhead as small feet pounded past, their branches reaching down like gentle fingers trying to catch a secret that wasn't meant to be kept. The discovery had happened by accident. Earlier that morning, while searching for the perfect skipping stone by Willow Creek, a strange shimmer had caught those curious eyes. There, nestled between two moss-covered rocks, was a pool no bigger than a dinner plate. But this wasn't ordinary water. It sparkled with an inner light, and when a finger had touched the surface, the water had sung, actually sung, a melody like wind chimes mixed with bird songs. Now, back at the edge of town where the forest met the first row of houses, breathing came in quick gasps. The jar felt warm through worn denim, pulsing with that mysterious glow. This was it. Proof of something magical, something that would make everyone at school stop calling the stories about forest magic baby tales. "There you are!" Mom's voice floated from the kitchen window. "Lunch is ready." The jar disappeared into a backpack faster than a rabbit into its burrow. "Coming." Inside, Dad was already at the table, sawdust in his hair from his woodworking shop. "Find any treasure today, kiddo?" A smile tugged at small lips. If only he knew. Just regular creek stuff. Mom set down a plate of sandwiches. "Regular creek stuff? Since when is anything at Willow Creek regular? Remember when you found that blue jay feather you swore could grant wishes?" "That was different," came the mumbled reply around a bite of peanut butter and honey. "I was little then." Dad chuckled. "Last month is little now?" The conversation drifted to safer topics. Dad's new rocking chair order, Mom's garden that kept attracting more butterflies than usual this year. All the while, the backpack sat by the door, its secret glowing softly through the fabric, unnoticed by grown-up eyes that had forgotten how to see magic. After lunch, escape came quickly. "Going to show Jordan something." "Be back before dinner," Mom called, but the door was already swinging shut. Jordan lived 3 houses down in the yellow house with the tire swing that creaked like a haunted door. Best friends since kindergarten, Jordan could keep a secret better than anyone, except maybe when it came to surprise parties. "Jordan." The shout came before even reaching the front steps. "You have to see this." Jordan appeared at the door, paintbrush in hand, splatters of purple and gold on both cheeks. "I'm making a galaxy. Want to dash?" "This is better than galaxies." The jar emerged from the backpack, its green glow reflected in Jordan's widening eyes. "Whoa! What is that?" "Magic water. Real magic water. From a secret pool at Willow Creek. Listen." The jar's lid twisted off carefully, and right away that strange, beautiful melody filled the air. Jordan's paintbrush clattered to the ground. "How does it do that?" "I don't know, but imagine what else it might do. Maybe it can heal things, or make plants grow super fast, or dash. Or maybe it's not supposed to be in a jar." Jordan's voice had gone quiet, thoughtful. "Remember what Miss Chen taught us about ecosystems? Everything in nature has a place." The excitement dimmed like a cloud passing over the sun. "But it's just a little bit. The pool had lots more." Jordan picked up the fallen paintbrush, twirling it between paint-stained fingers. What if the pool needs all its water? What if taking some hurts it somehow? "You sound like a grown-up." The words came out sharper than intended. "I'm just saying." Jordan paused and brightened. "Hey, why don't we go back together? You can show me the pool, and we can figure out what the water does without taking any more." Alex considered this, jaw held tight. The water continued its soft song, but now it sounded different, adder somehow, like a bird calling for its flock. "Tomorrow," came the decision. "I want to study it more first." Jordan looked uncertain, but nodded. "Okay, but be careful, Alex. Real magic. If that's what this is, it's probably not meant to be kept in jars." Walking home, those words echoed with each step. The jar felt heavier now, its glow seeming to flicker. Back in the bedroom, curtains drawn, the mysterious water sat on the desk between a collection of interesting rocks and a half-finished model airplane. As afternoon light slanted through the window, experiments began. A wilted dandelion from the yard perked up instantly when a drop of the water touched its stem. A paper cut on one knuckle tingled and closed when dabbed with the glowing liquid. This wasn't just magic. It was miracle water. But with each use, the singing grew fainter. By dinner time, the melody was barely a whisper, and the glow had faded to a faint shimmer. "You're quiet tonight," Mom observed over spaghetti. "Everything okay?" "Just thinking about stuff." Dad reached for the garlic bread. "Must be important stuff. You haven't even mentioned dessert yet." "Did you know," Mom said suddenly, "that Willow Creek used to be famous? My grandmother told me stories about how people would come from all over because they believed the water there had healing properties." The fork froze halfway to Alex's mouth. "Really?" "Oh, yes. But then something happened, nobody knows what, and the creek just became ordinary. The fish disappeared. The special plants died. Grandma always said it was because someone got greedy and took something they shouldn't have. The spaghetti suddenly tasted like cardboard." "That's the story, though, right?" Mom shrugged. "Who knows? Sometimes there's truth in old stories." That night, sleep wouldn't come. The jar sat on the nightstand, barely glowing now, its song reduced to an occasional note like a dying music box. Outside, an owl hooted, and the wind made the trees dance shadows across the ceiling. What if Mom's grandmother's story was true? What if someone long ago had done exactly this, taken the magic water, and ruined everything? Morning came too soon and not soon enough. Alex dressed quickly, grabbed the jar, and headed for the door. "Where are you off to so early?" Dad asked from behind his coffee mug. "Meeting Jordan. We're working on a project." "On a Saturday? Must be some project." Jordan was already waiting by the tire swing, dressed for adventure in boots and a jacket with too many pockets. "Ready to show me this magic pool?" The walk to Willow Creek felt longer than yesterday. The jar, tucked safely in the backpack, barely weighed anything now, but guilt made each step heavy. The forest seemed quieter, too, as if it knew a secret had been stolen. "Through here," Alex said quietly, pushing aside a curtain of willow branches. "It's just past those two big rocks that look like sleeping bears." They crept forward, Jordan's eyes wide with anticipation. But when they reached the spot, both stopped short. The pool was still there, but it looked different. The water that had glowed so brightly yesterday now looked dull, almost gray. The moss around its edges had turned brown, and the singing, that beautiful otherworldly melody, was completely gone. "Is that it?" Jordan asked, disappointed. "It looks so ordinary." Alex's stomach twisted into knots. It wasn't like this yesterday. It was beautiful. It glowed and sang and dashed the words caught as the truth became clear. The pool was dying because part of it was missing. "The jar," Jordan said softly, understanding right away. "We need to put the water back." With shaking hands, Alex pulled out the jar. Only the faintest green tinge remained in the water now. But what if it's too late? What if I killed it? "Only one way to find out." Together they knelt by the pool. The jar's lid came off with a soft pop, and carefully, so carefully, the water poured back where it belonged. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, like dawn breaking, light began to spread from where the water had returned home. The pool brightened, the moss green, and yes, the singing returned, louder and more beautiful than ever. "Look!" Jordan pointed to the water's surface, where a tiny fish had appeared, no bigger than rice grains, but glowing like little stars. Plants Alex hadn't noticed before unfurled their leaves, and the air itself seemed to sparkle. "It's even more magical than before," Alex breathed. They sat there for a long time, just watching and listening. The pool was fully alive now, its song weaving through the forest like an invisible thread connecting everything. I almost ruined it, came the quiet admission, just like in Mom's grandmother's story. Jordan's hand found Alex's shoulder. But you didn't. You brought it back. Only because you made me think about it. I wanted to keep it so badly, to prove magic was real, to show everyone. Maybe, Jordan said thoughtfully, the real magic is knowing when to leave something wild and free. They made a pact that morning, there by the restored pool. They would be the guardians of this secret place, visiting but never taking, protecting but never possessing. They marked the path with subtle signs only they would recognize. A stack of 3 stones here, a bent branch there. On the way home, Alex felt lighter than air despite the empty jar in the backpack. "Are you going to tell anyone?" Jordan asked as they reached the edge of town. "I want to tell everyone," the words burst out. "But I think that would be another way of trying to own it, wouldn't it? Making it about me instead of about the magic itself." Jordan grinned. "Look at you, getting all wise." That evening, as the family gathered for dinner, Mom mentioned the butterflies again. The strangest thing, there were twice as many today, and they all seemed to be flying toward the forest. Dad laughed. "Maybe they know something we don't." "Maybe they do," Alex said, catching Jordan's eye through the window as they walked past with their parents. "Maybe there's more magic around than we think. We just have to be careful not to trap it in jars." Mom and Dad exchanged one of those looks parents share when they think their kids have said something profound. "That's very true, sweetheart," Mom said. "The best things in life, love, friendship, wonder, they're meant to flow freely, aren't they?" "Like water," Alex agreed, thinking of a pool that sang, of light that danced, of magic that chose to share itself with those who could keep its secrets. Later that night, getting ready for bed, the empty jar sat on the shelf with the rock collection. It looked ordinary now, just glass and metal, nothing special at all. But Alex knew better. It had held magic once, and more importantly, it had taught a lesson about letting go. The window was open to the warm night air, and if you listened very carefully, if you knew exactly what to listen for, you could hear it, the faint echo of a song carried on the wind from a secret pool where magic water danced with starlight, whole and free and more beautiful for having been returned. Some treasures, Alex had learned, shine brightest when you leave them where they belong, and some truths are worth more than any proof you could capture in a jar. The forest sang its ancient song, the creek flowed with mysterious purpose, and in a yellow house 3 doors down, a best friend painted galaxies while knowing that the greatest wonders were the ones they protected together. Real magic, it turned out, wasn't about possession or proof. It was about wonder and care and the courage to tell the truth, even when that truth meant admitting you'd almost made a terrible mistake. And in Willow Creek, where the water sang and the light danced, the magic grew stronger for having been set free.